beings. Okay, I don't think I've ever covered this. I don't think I ever knew about this. The Alaska Triangle is kind of like the Bermuda Triangle. It's a place for 20,000 missing persons, something like that. Bigfoot's there. UFOs are there, and so on. So, yeah, Alaska is regions of it are kind of spooky. Not that I would know, but at least from the vibes, definitely a lot of portal energies. Of course, you can say there's some areas where UFO beings can just do whatever they feel like. Well, if you walk through a vortex, anything goes. Yeah, so you can say some of those missing persons are on somewhere, other planets or wherever they are. Yeah, it's highly possible, definitely. Yeah, even the interesting, the MyLab energy people tap into. I believe a lot of it is in Alaska. Yeah. Of course, it's in another dimension, or however you want to look at it. There's definitely a lot of MyLab frequencies there. No surprise there. I think HARP is out there too somewhere. So we say it's turned off. So whatever that means. So what's happened to those energies? And then the Utah Basin. It's in Utah. Not that well known. It's not that far from Skinwalker Ranch. And I think it's by the Four Corners, but man, looking this thing up is confusing. There's not a whole lot on it. But it is. It was on one of those phenomenon TV shows. That's how I found it. I never heard of it. But it's not exactly the easiest thing to look up either. No surprise there. There's also dinosaur excavations there too, somewhere in that area. But definitely there's probably a lot of military bases there, underground, most likely. And think about looking up above ground. But yeah, it's definitely something's up there. So there's even like a small town out there too. Yeah, it's very you're probably military. It does feel like it's like a military town. I mean, it's a regular town. I feel like there's a major military presence there, even if it's not making itself that well known. And also Catalina Island, that's another UFO energy. I haven't tapped into that in a while. So it's off the coast of California. And it's another phenomenon area. Catalina Island does not have the best energy, not at all. And I have to say, the basin does either, but the Catalina Island has so much greed energy connected to it. A lot of, I guess, elites go there. Just a lot of wealth and manipulation, elite energies. So not probably the easiest place to get. I mean, it's not that hard to get to it, but it is funny how it's off California. It's just, imagine many people don't know it's even there. I mean, I've connected to it before. It's just been a while. Yeah, there are places where it's like, where they have a knowing of what's going on, but they don't, they talk about it quietly, obviously. I would say that's one of those places that they do that at. I know it sounds kind of weird saying that, but, it's just, it definitely has a lot of elite frequencies. So, as for Alaska's energy, Alaska is just, it's not the easiest thing to tap into. There's a lot of agendas there. Once again, another elite. It was more of a military frequency there. Of course, people do live there. But there's definitely a major military presence there quietly and spying on Russia from there. Of course, they're doing it in other places, but Alaska is a perfect place for that. Especially out in the middle of nowhere, underground. Most likely, of course, they have subs and all that, but Nice little spy network you got out there. Yeah, the basin is a strange. I mean, I would say Skinwalker Ranch energies do find its way. There's some still more phenomenons in the basin area, which is not the easy. Like I said, it's not the easiest thing to tap into or find and research on. Probably because they don't want you to get involved with it. Not that you could anyway, because not in the middle of nowhere. So it's kind of it's Spooksville. Yeah, Alaska has a lot of that. So I'm telling economic pro sessions I've scheduled. Shop here, webinar, social network behind the scenes. Not that it's going anywhere there. That's not going to help anything. 1 second, getting there. Okay. So yeah, the Alaska Triangle. I guess there's been a TV show on it. Never heard of it. More power to you on that one. Yeah. Anybody ever heard about it? I guess it's been on the History Channel. Of course, it has been. That's quite the size for a Alaskan Bermuda Triangle. That's still pretty big. I mean, it's not all crazy, but there's definitely, it feels like you can hear voices in some of those areas and hear other dimensions. It's not as what's cracked up to be. Yeah, you can say that's one of the places where you're going to have your alien encounter, but it might not be what you're looking for. It might be a little bit too real for you. So, of course, you never know. It might not be anything. I mean, they don't mess with everybody. Some people are off limits. Yeah, it's not really a place I want to take a walk through. That's for sure. So, but man, that's a big. I mean, for not knowing anything about it, that's a pretty big triangle there. Jeez. And the basin here is, like I say, not exactly the easiest thing to look up. They show what's near. They have like a drilling area, of course, the mountains, but it's still not the easiest energy to even locate. It just isn't. It's like they don't want you to find it. They don't want you to mess with it. Yeah, the Colorado River, I think, goes through it, or something with Colorado goes out of it. You know what I mean? It's like time and space get kind of altered in that area. Yeah, it feels. I would say this is worse than that Alaskan area. Yeah, it feels a lot worse. There's that small area of the Vernal little town there. It's the same thing. It's not Colorado, it's Utah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Utah. Yeah. So this is like the town is near closest to it, I believe. Yeah, it's by the Salt Lake City. Unless whatever that is. Well, maybe that's one of the bigger cities. So kind of area. Okay, yeah, I found the right place. Again, it's the only place you find a pink dinosaur. And that's Dino Land. That feels pretty decent, but yeah, this is where I feel like the military presence is. Yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah, there's a lot of vortexes there. Yeah, you can easily get lost out here for sure. I don't think it's a place, and they thought the Grand Canyon has a lot of, mystery, and this is no different. I would say this is worse in a lot of ways. You feel that the energies here are a lot more intense. Oh, meaning like worse in the sense of getting lost or injured or something, a phenomenon. That's the vibe I get from this area, especially right here. That should, yeah, there's like the land of the giants, you can say. Of course, they had dinosaurs back then, so who knows? Probably there's dinosaurs right now. I mean, if they actually did find a pink dinosaur back then. A fashion statement. Funny. But yeah, it's pretty. This is a pretty intense. So if you look it up, you don't find anything. I mean, you look up these landmarks that's near it, but if you look it up, it's nothing. Not really. Just find the mountains that's near it and just stay the hell out of here. Or it's just not the most clearest energy. Yeah, this is in the Four Corners. Still has a lot of confusing energy. It just some places just don't want you to mess with too much. Yeah. So this is in the Four Corners, and yeah, this is where you get kind of confused. Yeah, and the basin is in this Colorado Plateau area. But it's more up, by Salt Lake City. So, anyway. So that's that. And the other thing is Catalina Island. They tap into those energies, and it's pretty. You can't swim there. It's kind of like a little, secluded, upscale, pretty quaint area. Poor people stay out kind of energy. A little house there or whatever that's up there. Yes, definitely elitist frequency. Yeah, a place like this can easily brainwash people into wanting wealth and everything and becoming extremely lost. We have enough of that as it is. Anyway, okay. So that's that. So I guess Catalina Island needs to come up for some reason, for whatever reason. So, yeah, kind of Spooksville, you can say. So, all right, we're going to Alaska Triangle. Yeah, none of this has the best energy. It's all kind of. Alaska doesn't have the best. At least the triangle energy does not have the best, but the basin's worse. Yeah, they're doing something there. So, and Catalina Island is just it's all about the wallet. So, all right, Magic Catalina is pretty nice though overall. If you don't get sucked into the elite energy, you should be fine. Go fishing or something like that. All right, going to Alaska Triangle energies. Jeez, yeah, there's a lot of Zeta. No surprise. A lot of Zeta energies. They mean no harm, but you can say obviously the as many know, the mission, your mission, or some people are meant to be, or you can say everybody has some kind of abduction situation, but some are literally meant to be taken off the planet as a missing person. And yeah, it doesn't mean they're going to be through some kind of science experiments or anything like that, or put some kind of human trafficking. Not always the case. They can also be taken to another Earth, just zapped to another. Or it depends. And aliens are not always involved with that. It's just a vortex, and it's just your direction. So they can also pop back here too, which is bizarre. It's like a Twilight Zone episode. So, all right, that's that. So, all right, we're going to Alaska and see where we got. Okay, blessings. Greetings. This is the Alaskan consciousness, not necessarily the triangle itself, but Oh, well, yes, of course, yes, many mysteries. There is a strong Bigfoot frequency there. A lot of your elites, those with power, abuse their freedoms there, the freedoms of others, the free will of others. So the vortex has always been there. You can say there is an Atlantean connection from your ancient world. It's yeah, basically another UFO highway. But there is much more to not. Yeah, aliens don't even have the full understanding of it. None of these portals they have. I mean, they know how to take care of themselves, but they don't always know. Like basically, an alien group can be there, and all of a sudden, if you're in that triangle, you can find yourself on their ship, and they don't know how you got there. There's that. Not to say you should go out there and try that out, because of course there's a lot of darkness there too. There's a lot of wolf energies there. There's just a lot of wild animals, so it's not something that you gotta know what you're doing. But yes, those of you who are just tapping into the frequencies. There's also many motherships that do cross those areas. So there's a lot of telepathic energies. I mean, basically, this is Alaska. This part of the world is where a lot of your alien energies, park. You can say they monitor your Earth's energies. They get close to your Earth, so they're not seen. So, and sometimes when their ships get close to the planet, it does cause, especially around a vortex area, where they come through that triangle also. But when they have their presence there, it can cause some friction where, I mean, of course, they do have galactic skirmishes in that area, you can say, and that's another reason why humans get pulled into it for whatever reason. Yeah, sometimes it's kidnappings by alien groups just to, cause some difficulties for others. Just an easy grab place. It's like think of it as a river, and you're just fishing, but you're fishing for people. So it's just an easy, it's like a neutral zone. Where not necessarily you're allowed to do it, but it's just easy to do it. Just like many of your forests, your state forests, where you see a lot of missing persons, which is usually still not mentioned because the phenomenon is not quite understood. And like I say, I mean, the aliens have full understanding of it because there are nefarious groups there doing things for themselves. So yeah, it's just a complicated, you know, situation there. But to tap into those frequencies, you can also just, you can't receive a healing energy to realize it's all about your intention. You can also just feel the Earth's frequency, what's going to the Bermuda Triangle. Also, you can probably feel just human consciousness. You can feel the vulnerabilities, what the humans are thinking. Well, at least on a worldwide energy. As for the Bermuda Triangle, many humans are just not ready for what many of you are here to bring to the planet. I mean, you're bringing it anyway. You bring your giants, your dinosaurs, your aliens, your angels. You're going to bring it no matter what. It's just, you can call it a red pill or whatever you want to call it, but basically you're bringing more of that consciousness here, and it's not going to go anywhere. So, and some of you do go through these triangle vortexes. You might not be full. Some need to live by them, either to protect them or that's just where your energy, that's where you keep your sanity while others are going crazy. So you're kind of like there as a guard to some level for some individuals. Greece, this is the Utah Basin frequency. Yes, there's a sky. Well, there's a lot of phenomenon beings that were there during your ancient times. Creatures that are still roaming the earth, even more in the fourth dimension. Sometimes they're seen, usually not photographed normally, but it just shows your world is connected to a lot of strange realities, some lower dimensional realms that were opened. Well, basically, there's places that vortexes are open to the lower dimensions, and this is one of them. Seeing as say some of your triangle energies have that, but your Skinwalker Ranch, this Utah area, it's just there's this vortex. There's just yes, there's a positive energy there, but there's also extremely dark energy also. And even there is a missing person situation. Usually not mentioned, usually difficult to yeah, just not recorded all. Well, it's recorded, but not that well known. Not as much as the triangle energies. But once again, there are forces here to also keep your military at its strength as mind control, because there's a lot of alien groups here that have agendas that want to control your planet. So they do it to the military consciousness. But as for this area here, yeah, if you're intuitive connections, yeah, you might feel it's quite intense. Yes, it can be more, just the vibrations are more intense. Doesn't mean it's a negative way, it's just more intense than your Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon can be very intense, but some of those areas are difficult to get to. As for the basin's a lot easier to reach. And just you can get lost there also. Yeah, you can feel like you're aware of where it depends, like some of the canyons. You feel like you know where you are, and all of a sudden you get dizzy and you forget where you are and how you get out of there. And the Grand Canyon does have those frequencies too. Like I said, the basin's a little bit easier to get to. So, I mean, usually people are fine, but for some of you that are intuitive connection, very connected intuitively, you can get lost. You feel like it's like you're in between different dimensions more than usual. And it's not as joyous as you thought it would. Yes, you can see alien energy. It's kind of like walking into a meditation. It's like you feel like you're connected to other worlds and even peaceful realities, but can you handle it as a human? There's that also. It's like many of you want to connect to the positive realities, that's fine. But at this human level, with all that you're going through, it's difficult to see it. So there is, yeah, as you said, sometimes too much of a good thing. So there is a positive frequency there, but it might be too intense for some to tap into. Yes, you're looking for your med beds and all that. So it does have that frequency. It doesn't mean it's a med bed. I guess you can lay on the ground if you want to. It doesn't mean you'll be fully healed, but there's some higher frequency energies that basically they're higher dimensional frequencies that'll take you out of your body. Doesn't mean you'll die, but you feel like you went somewhere else. Dreams, the consciousness of Catalina Island. Yes, there's a lot of trickery there. Yes, of course, there's a military presence, of course. There is friendly alien beings there. Some of your aliens do live there. Well, they interact there, just like Colorado. Colorado Springs, very similar to that. Alien beings, as long as they look human, can roam around with humans in that area, but because it's connected to their frequency and they can get in and out of there without a problem. So other places, obviously, not going to mention, but the ground crew alien beings that are here as human, yeah, it gets kind of complicated. I'm not going to go into all the details of it, but yeah, they're scattered across the world, of course. But Catalina, Iowa is kind of a hot spot. But once again, feeling that, I mean, yeah, they don't always know that you're coming. Like they might pick up on your frequency. It's like, wow, you're just like me, aren't you? But some of them are from another world, though, and they're just well cloaked as a human. They're just why they're there. They're not always going to say that. It's just there's a military presence there, but also as an observer. Well, once again, if you're an alien being observing as a human, it's just there's nice to be areas where the frequency is similar to your own, where you can not experience so much of the low frequencies, because when you experience the low frequencies, you're only here for such a short time. But if you have higher frequency, you can be around for a lot longer. So, of course, yes, your military doesn't have the full understanding of the military phenomenon or the UFO phenomenon. They want to know more, and they're not allowed to, so they get angry about it. They have Congress and all doing their things in public, try to shake the UFO tree to get more information out of these beings, and it doesn't usually work. Even sometimes your military threatens it. Some of them do that. Doesn't mean it's going to go anywhere because they want more. They want more technology, want more information. They just want to keep it secret. Obviously, now how long will this secret last? Probably quite some time. They're not about to reveal their secret, not at all. Well, it also exposes them. Also, they don't like the other countries that they're dealing with, especially the U.S. And they're not just going to just reveal they have UFO technology, especially China has a version of it. Russia has somewhat of a version of it, but nothing like the US. The US is kind of policing the world. Obviously, all the other countries are getting mad. So, but with the US policing the world, especially the UFO presence, it's not just that, but that's what's going to keep the US economy not to collapse. The dollar is still going to have some purpose until your government is ready to, not that the secrets would come out, but when the United States is ending its agenda across the world, that's when the US dollar starts to sway even more. We have a while for that. They have to keep this going for a while, just for reasons. And it's not just because of UFO energy, that's part of it. Everything is control over society. I mean, with the US, have influence around the world, it's like a power high. And they don't want to give that up. So they'll still find ways to keep that going. The UFO energy adds a little bit more of an edge. They can sometimes see the future without trying not to go insane, but a lot of them do go crazy. I believe we need to stop talking. Blessings.